afternoon, and welcome back to Coffee with a Kick. I'm Xander, he's Keegan, and we're here for Matchday 23 recap. I'll say, overall, decent job. We're getting back in the groove of things. Both of us went 5-5, spoiler alert. Not exactly the 10-0 you were looking for, but to be fair, there were some of these were quite surprising this weekend. And we will go ahead and hop right into it, I guess. I mean, go ahead and like it and subscribe it and drop us a comment. Flynn, good to see you back. Thanks for the congratulations on the 100. Much appreciated. You know, keep on, keep it on. And I know you're Jurgen Klopp. All right. First match of the weekend was Everton and Tottenham, which you got right, expecting Everton to draw Tottenham. It did end up going that way. Wasn't quite the 1-1 that you were anticipating, but I did almost call it correctly that Madison only had one goal, one assist, but still it was an interesting match because Everton played better than I thought they would, by leaps and bounds. I mean, they were in it for the whole match. But how did you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were kind of unlucky to give up that early goal. I mean, it just seemed like they weren't yet organized.
Yeah.
And so, outside of the 4th minute, I felt like the 41st minute, amicable goal, something that Everton would give up. But 4th minute, I think if they get organized quicker and they really dig their heels in, they probably win this 2-1.
Yeah.
Brentford coming in 90+4 for the home side. That was a huge one.
Yeah, I feel like as much as the 4th minute goal was a little bit of a giveaway by Everton, the Brentford was also a giveaway by Spurs. They kind of got it back there in the end to get the point, get back level, and really important points considering what's going on ahead of them with the next team that we have up. Well, actually, not quite yet. A little bit later on. But the next team we have up is Brighton. Apparently, they figured out how to score again. They take out Crystal Palace 4-1. Neither of us saw this happening because it was against the run of the season for both these sides. Crystal Palace doing decent in their recent matches, and Brighton not. Very, very against the grain. And really, it was Crystal Palace's fault. I mean, a lot of these goals by Brighton were defensive malpractice on their part. Lewis Dunk, really easy header for the first one. A second goal was also another unguarded header there by Hinchelwood on the backside of play. And then what does that say? Oh, Crystal Palace can't find their composure for the third by Buonanotte. It came in hot and heavy there with the 33rd and 34th minute by Buonanotte and Hinchelwood. But, and then not much else happened the rest of the half after the 34th minute, and then we get to the 71st, and Brighton gives up their own just silly goal. But it wasn't to be because João Pedro seals it away there at the very end with a very, very clever little outside of the foot action there. Very nice goal with the assist. The great ball in by Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong. I saw it on X, so not everything there is. I didn't see a community note either.
Okay, didn't see the community note. So
I saw this was the youngest Brighton team fielded this season so far.
Really? Interesting.
And yet they probably played the best they played in the last 10, 12 matches. So they found something that worked out.
Yeah, they got a little bit going on.
You really like to see. I like Dunk getting that 3rd minute goal, the tried and true guy at the defense.
Yeah.
The guy you're relying on. Getting that goal really kickstarted all the momentum.
Yeah.
After the 3rd minute, I did not think Crystal Palace really had a shot. Tough for my prediction, but Brighton was good.
I said it in our last episode after I said it was 2-0 Crystal Palace. They were missing their strikers. I mean, actually, Mateta was there, but they were missing the other one. Where's my note from that? I don't have it. I don't have it on hand. But they were missing the other striker, and you could tell that part of that forward verve was missing. on the Crystal Palace side. And then now, okay, so I did go back and crunch some numbers here, just because I always bash on picking for West Ham, but turns out I'm just as bad at picking Fulham results. Going back, I have missed 10 straight picks for West Ham and Fulham. The last 10 weeks, I have been wrong on both of those. And that, of course, then that's what. So the perception that I have of picking West Ham poorly is deserved. Technically, they're not my worst though. I've only gotten 6 Everton picks right this year. Can you believe that? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
But Burnley and Fulham is the one that we're talking about right now. Another one that we both got wrong because Fulham pulled it out in the end. Got a 2-2 draw there. Really, it was Burnley who pulled it out with the 90+1. But it was an exciting match. Both sides actually, they were competitive. Both sides were competitive. It was a little bit of a back and forth here.
I feel like for Flynn 21's sake, we gotta talk a little Fulham.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they looked like the Fulham in that string of 6 or 7 matches where they were just dominating. First half, they looked like them again. Second half, I don't know what happened. Maybe they just thought Burnley was going to sit back and just let them come to them again. But I feel like first half Fulham, second half Fulham, very different teams. They still had a couple of chances, but I mean, Burnley was the better side in the second half, and they pulled it out. It's tough for Fulham.
It was another one of those give and take sort of scenarios because the set piece defense on the 17th minute goal by Paulinho by Burnley was atrocious. It was terrible marking on that set piece goal that they gave in. But then we go to Burnley's first goal, and what the Fulham goalkeeper was doing on that, I do not know. It was definitely a preventable goal on that side. And then the Fofana one, it was one of those goals where you get a breakaway and things happen when you're moving fast. I never want to say that there's match fixing going on, but the 71st minute goal, it looked like the Fulham goalie was like, I had bet on Burnley to score. Both teams are scoring today. Let me totally misjudge this ball across. Let me totally misjudge it entirely. Yeah, it leads to a really easy one. But, you are correct. Fulham looked very good in the first half. Again, it was against Burnley, who's fighting for their lives, essentially, and not really doing much good.
It felt like a loss for Fulham. Even though they come away with a point, it felt like a loss.
Yeah. The only saving grace is at least you were away, I guess. You didn't do this in front of the home fans. So, better luck next time. Who's up? Who do they have next? Fulham. You've got Bournemouth, who you are right behind. So, neither of you are in super good form. So we'll see what happens. That'll be an interesting match this weekend, but we'll get to that later this week in our predictions episode. That brings us to one of the surprising, we've already covered a couple of them, but another surprising match, 4-4 goal fest between Newcastle and Luton. I don't know what's going on with Luton, but they figured something out on offense, obviously. And listen, it was a great match, to be frank. I mean, it was a really exciting and good match. Both sides coming from behind at some point. And I feel like Newcastle's going to be disappointed because it's Luton, but both of them played very well.
Yeah, Luton going up 4-2 there really quickly in the first half or second half. I mean, the penalty in the 59th minute. Adebayo, I think I read this was his 4th straight game scoring, something around there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just on a tear. And they just couldn't get it organized. I felt like after that they were trying to park the bus. They were trying to not let Newcastle score. And it seemed like them trying to park the bus actually helped Newcastle more than it helped Luton. Because it didn't seem like Newcastle had trouble attacking. And then, I don't know how you felt, but after the Barnes equalizer at 4-4, both teams just kind of looked a little tired of scoring. I mean, there were a couple-ish more chances, but both teams were like, all right, let's just pump the brakes. 4-4 is good. both teams were okay with a point. Obviously, Newcastle will be a bit more disappointed, but yeah, 8 goals. That's a lot.
They put in a full 90 in the first 70 for both these sides. And it was a weird give and take by both sides. I thought that the first goal by Newcastle was like typical Luton. It felt like it was going to be a long day for them. But then they get the good rebound for the Osho goal. Then there's a good rebound that gives Longstaff his second. And it was just kind of back and forth. And then for the pin, it's super weird that the ref called back the first one. You know, the first take got called back because he wasn't ready. Everyone else was, but not the main ref. Didn't change the result in the end. And you know, I think Luton will feel a little bad because that Harvey Barnes goal there at the end was kind of just a speculative shot that ends up going in. One of those that just sneaks past the goalkeeper, catches it just right, but it wasn't I didn't feel like it was a serious shot, to be honest. Still though, good result for Luton. You're hanging on. I think, like I said in an earlier match, Everton is chasing, and Everton's chasing, and they don't seem like the side that's going to be able to catch you. So as long as you can keep getting points, you know, big match this weekend for Luton because they have Sheffield United. So, and if Sheffield's going to even have a chance, they got to get 3 there. I think to have any sort of chance of getting out of relegation zone, Sheffield's got to get 3. Are they at? I think they're at Kenilworth Road. I believe that's right. Yes, they're at Kenilworth Road. So it'll be a big one for Luton Town this upcoming weekend. That then brings us to our next one, which is, speaking of figuring out, I mean, again, we've talked about this before. It's really nice to get Sheffield United after having a bad result. So Aston Villa putting 5 past Sheffield, though? It's a lot. And it all happened, essentially, well, except for the Moreno in the 47th. 4 goals in the first half, and it was easy, to be honest. It was not a tough one for Aston Villa. And Sheffield does. It looks. I think they look like they've given up a little bit. I think they've given up on the season a little bit because it was not even a convincing show of an effort on this match day.
Pretty embarrassing for the United being the home side because from 12th minute to 30th minute, 4 goals, 18 minutes. It's really. I don't even know what to say. It was expected, but not expected because Sheffield was kind of playing a little better. Mm-hmm. Aston Villa not playing as well. And, yeah, I think after the 47-minute Moreno goal, both teams just kind of put up a white flag. And we're just like, we'll just call it a truce. Aston Villa, it didn't really look like you mentioned. Most of the second half felt like a victory lap for Aston Villa. And almost like a goodbye Premier League for Sheffield United. Yeah, I mean, even in their almost longing for the championship.
Even their consolation, Sheffield had a consolation goal, a very well worked little set piece, but they were offsides. So even when something looked good for Sheffield, it went bad, and that's just how the day was for them. It was not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. Then that finished up. That was our last match for Saturday. We moved over to Sunday to Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. We both got the Newcastle Luton one correct. We both thought that it would be a draw, just not 4-4. And we both got that one correct, that Sheffield would be defeated by Aston Villa. We both got this one wrong, though. 1-1 draw by Bournemouth and Nottingham. How this one strike your fancy?
You know, this one felt disappointing on the end of Bournemouth. Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like they started out really fast with Kluivert getting that 5th-minute goal. I think I had predicted a Bournemouth win. I think...
yes, no. We both did. We both predicted this to be 2-1.
Yeah, I mean... I thought this was going to be the game that might go 5-0 because Bournemouth started quick and they looked really good the first 10, 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden at the end of the half, Hudson-Odoi gets the goal and it's a different game. So, I don't know. It was tough for Bournemouth. I felt like they missed a chance here.
Yeah, and really, the second half was nothing. Like there was nothing that happened except for the red card in the 84th minute by Billing, which was just a really, really cynical tackle there. I mean, he was just going to like clip his heel, but ends up raking the whole back of his leg with his cleats. Really tough there.
It was hard to argue against.
Yeah. At first I saw it and I thought that he had just gotten the clip on the foot. And you're like, okay, yeah, yellow card. But she went straight. First of all, right? That was the female. Was that the female one? No, that was a different match. But anyways, I thought at first he just clipped the heel, like, oh, okay, yeah, tactical yellow card. But no, he got a full bite on the back of his calf there, and it was a deserved red, and really random because I don't think that Nottingham Forest was really going to threaten goal. There were guys ahead of them, so it was really not super useful. But yeah, it was a boring match by and large. This, you had a lot to choose from this match day. I hope you didn't pick this one to watch.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of better matches. I think all the rest of them would have been considered better. Actually, looking at the score sheet in total. Speaking of one that was better, Chelsea versus my Wolves. Matheus Cunha hat trick. Didn't have that on my dance card, but happy to see it. We both picked this to be 3-1. Ended up being 2-4. But, it was a good result by my Wolves. Went down early with the Cole Palmer goal, which was just a really nice ball in by Calcedo to Palmer. Really, oh my goodness, unlocked the defense there. It's one of those where you can barely even be mad at it. You're like, that's so slick. I mean, I'll give it to you. But came back right away with the first Cunha goal. Which was lucky, I'll be honest. There was some luck involved here with Cunha's first goal, and with the second as well.
The deflection off Silva was timely.
Yeah, it was very, very lucky. Both of those were lucky. So we go up before the half, 2-1. It still felt pretty nervy about it because Chelsea had a decent half in spite of they were unlucky to be down 2-1, to be fair. And then for Cunha's second, it was really well worked. I mean, Pedro Neto continues to be so pivotal to our attack. I mean, he gave us the own goal, and the second one was essentially an assist by Neto as well. He actually gets on the books for the 63rd minute goal by Cunha, getting the assist in there. And then the 82nd minute penalty, one of the easiest penalty call you'll ever have to make, I mean, slight tackle from behind, getting no ball. It wasn't dirty enough that you give a yellow, but you're like, I mean, there's literally no choice here. I have to give the pen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whatever his name was, I think it was Gusto. Just gets beaten. Oh, yeah. And he's like, he either gets a shot or I stop him, and I don't know. Not a great move. He immediately gets pulled. Pochettino immediately pulls him right after
that. Did he get pulled? Wait, hold on. I thought he had just gotten subbed on. Go up to the other one.
Yeah, he got subbed on and he got immediately subbed off.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That penalty.
That's right. Yes, because they called the penalty on the 78th minute, then he gets subbed off on the 81st. Yeah, so he really made the most of his time with us. And then Thiago Silva gets the most random header goal there, just a little glancer off the corner.
Yeah.
But the game was already well in hand at that point. So nothing else developed with that. But hey, great win by my Wolves. Let's see if we can keep it going there, because that flipped our positions with Chelsea. We're now ahead of them on points, and we get them Brentford Bees, the struggling Brentford Bees, coming up this week at Molineux. But we'll get to that later this week for our predictions. Then to the big match of the week. Oh, wait, no, not yet. First, we got to do Manchester United, West Ham United. Obviously, I got this one wrong because I've gotten my last 10 picks by West Ham wrong. And really, United did well in this one. You got to give it to them. Højlund is actually scoring now, Garnacho's first goal was a little bit cheap, I'll be honest. It was a little bit, not super deserved. But they deserved the win overall.
Yeah, I mean, they deserved it. It was probably the best United display I've seen in recent matches. So maybe they figured something else out. I don't know, but definitely seemed like they played pretty well.
I will say that this game could have gone much differently. There was a very strong opportunity for West Ham in the 11th minute that Onana made a great reaction save on. That goes in, this game looks totally different. But Onana makes the save. They go on to win 3-0. And West Ham, you have to work with me at some point. You have to work with me and give me a win here, because I don't like having missed 10 in a row. I've actually missed 10 in a row 3 different times. I have 2 currently going. And then, I think you had missed, let's see. You had missed 10 in a row for Chelsea in between Matchday 7 and Matchday 16. But you've come back a little bit on that. So, yeah, we've had some streaks. And looking back, I was correct. Matchday 10, I was 51-48. I was 51-38 in the first 10, in the first third of the season, roughly. First fourth of the season, roughly. And now we're at, we'll get to it in a minute, where I've got the actual scores. I got it all updated. All the numbers are accurate. So there is no wishy-washy about it. Now to the real big match of the week. Arsenal takes down Liverpool 3-1 in convincing fashion. I mean, I thought Liverpool played very well in the first half. They deserved that own goal. I mean, it was a goal, but it ends up going down as an own goal against Magalhaes. There in the 45+3. But Liverpool probably felt pretty good going into the half. They came back 1-1. They had dominated the first half in total, aside from that Bukayo Saka goal, which was a lucky rebound for Saka, because it was a breakaway, but it still bounced right to him, and he had no one in front of him. But Arsenal kind of put things together there in the second half, with the Martinelli goal there in the 67th minute. Yes, that was when I put. Yeah, not only was that an own goal by Magalhaes, it was a handball own goal, which was just funny. But Liverpool gave it back for that Martinelli goal with the rebound for the second, and then I felt like, once we hit the red card there in the 88th. You could feel that Liverpool wasn't coming back in this one. When Konate got his red card, there was no press left available to them for the rest of the match. And then Trossard finishes up with the nutmeg goal there at the very end, just to put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, Liverpool looked a lot like Burnley in this match. A lot of possession, some good pressing, making the other team feel uncomfortable, but only 1 shot on target out of 10 shots total.
Wow.
I just don't think they just didn't pressure once they got into the final third. Arsenal played really well in the final third. Now that was the difference. Really.
Yeah, it was a convincing win by Arsenal. That's what we got to say. It makes the title race very interesting for the rest of the season. Because we have 3 teams, and Aston Villa, if they can pick things back up, they could sneak up there. Really, we've got a 5-team title race. I would say, even with Tottenham being down there, they were unlucky to get the full points, but 44 is not far out of first. That's only a few match days going your way. It'll come down to if City can get the full 3 from their missing match against
Brentford.
Against Brentford, who we will get to in a second with their actual match. The Etihad side is what's actually missing. We'll go ahead and get to it, because there's not much to say about it. I mean, Brentford played very well the first 30 minutes. They got a goal out of it. But then the game changed there with the 45+3 with Phil Foden's goal. which was a little bit lucky. I mean, the defensive header not getting put back, not having any oomph behind it to clear it and it falling right to him. Yeah. Still had to do some work on it, but still, you could feel the momentum shift when he put that in, and it carried through to the second half.
Yeah, talk about a game when a goalkeeper, even losing 3-1, shows you why he's your goalkeeper. Yeah. I mean, 12 saves. It could have been so much worse, but I think his name is Flecken. I mean, he played well. Some of the shots on target were right to him, but there were some pretty good saves. And I mean, it could have been so much worse than 3-1.
I mean, if Phil Foden hadn't had a hat trick, I would have voted for him man of the match, because not only did he have all those saves, he also assisted on your goal because it was off of a goal kick. You can't be offsides on a goal kick, and they put that to full advantage there for the Mopé goal. But then Phil came in and Phil filled up the match. To be honest, that boy,
nice.
It's so nice to have KDB back, huh? That cross in for the 53rd minute goal, so silky,
magical.
Silky. And then even though Erling was still a little rusty, like you could tell because he should have had a goal there in the first half, that little give go with Phil was well put together. It made you feel very nice about how things are shaping up for City the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it was the first half was a little bit scary for City. Once they got the 45+3, they settled back in, and the second half, it was never a contest. City went out ahead at 53rd and pretty much coasted the rest of the time. Not a lot for Brentford doing in the second half. But that brings us to the end of the match day. We both, as I said, went 5-5. And that brings us in total at the end of match day 23. I am now 101-27, which is not spectacular. And you are just behind at 97-130. So we will see if we can pick it up. We both had a very bad winter. Or at least I did. Yeah, because I told you I was at 51-48 on match day 10. And you can do the math there. I've gotten 49 correct since then, and it's match day 23. And missed, what?
I brought it back.
79? Well, I kind of came down to you. I mean, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 match days where I only had 3 correct, and a match day where I went 2-8. That's it's not stellar picksmanship, I'll say. Coining a term.
Probably not.
But I gotta break this Fulham and West Ham United 10 incorrect streak. That's really discouraging. But let's see. I think you actually have the record for the best individual. Oh no, that's actually me. I have 2 teams where I'm 15. I've got 15 correct on the season. Arsenal and City.
Wow.
You're very even across the board with everything coming between 8 and 12 picks correct across the season. If you just picked Liverpool or Arsenal matches straight up, you probably could be beating me by a good bit. Because you're 9-14 for Arsenal. And some of those picks are kind of like, I want this to happen so that the table goes the way I want it to, rather than, I think this is what's going to happen.
That's true.
You just do that for Arsenal, I think Liverpool as well, then you'd probably be beating me by probably 5 or 6 picks, would be my guess.
Unbiased. I'm unbiased.
There's no bias going on here at all. I'm just glad the Wolves are no longer my worst. For a long time, they were one of my worst pick teams, but now it's solely Everton. 6-17 on the season with my Everton picks. Not great. It's not great. It's bad, in fact. So do we want to tease our trivia question for the next one?
Yeah, this one. Yeah, it might be easy to some, might be hard to others, but who has the record for most wins in a Premier League season?
for number of wins in the Premier League season. I think I've got this one.
Wins.
Yeah, because I actually was doing some math regarding this earlier today, but I don't want to spoil it for the next episode.
Just in one season, one
season. Yeah. All right. So, which Premier League team holds the record for most wins in a single season is the question for our next episode. Be sure to tune in for that one later this week when we preview our Matchday 24 picks for this upcoming weekend. And then, hey, next week we're back with Champions League, right? Isn't that? Didn't I see that? That
I think so.
Knockout stage is midweek next week, so boy, episodes are going to start coming in a lot more now. I'll have to do some more math and figure out where we are with those picks because I want to replicate what I've got here because it's easily legible, if not a bit cumbersome. Anyways, that's beside the point. Until we are back next time, there's probably some Carabao Cup action or something happening. So until we're back later in the week, why don't you go ahead and grab some coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on the other side. Zippo